Welcome everyone to Life Lessons from Hollywood Movies, presented by my organization, The Zen of Hollywood, and me, your host, David McCabe. This segment is simple. We focus on extracting lessons from movies and then use simple, practical tips to help us improve our lives and become happier, which I believe we all desire. Okay, today we're looking at the theme, there's always a spiritual solution. And we're going to do so through the interesting film, First Reformed, starring Ethan Hawke and Amanda Seyfried. If you haven't seen this film, you might want to watch it first before this segment to better understand what we'll talk about, and please know there are spoilers ahead. Okay, this film focuses on this reverend played by Ethan Hawke who is dealing with the world's negativity, violence, environmental destruction, not to mention his own personal tragedy. He lost his daughter when she was young. So he's got all of this negativity weighing on his mind. When he goes to counsel this woman's husband, the woman's name is Mary, and she's played by Amanda Seyfried. And so when the Reverend goes to counsel the man, because the man is quite suicidal, he says some interesting things I think that are worth repeating in that conversation. One thing he said was, wisdom is holding two contradictory truths in our mind simultaneously, hope and despair. A life without despair is a life without hope. Holding these two ideas in our head is life itself. And how important this message is. He's basically saying that hope and despair are two sides of the same coin. We can't have one without the other, just as we can't have life's joy without its pain, just as we can't have day without night. That's just part of the duality in which we live. So that was important. But later on, I think he said something else that echoes this thought, which was also important, which is worth repeating. The Reverend said, despair is a development of pride so great that it chooses one's certitude rather than admit God is more creative than we are. What does that mean? It basically says that despair is rooted in the ego, which is our false self, which is so sure of itself that it sees no solution, especially any spiritual solution. This is so true in our lives. Sometimes we can be so negative, we don't see a solution, nor do we want to find one. Now, remember at the end of the film, the most important scene is when the Reverend is ready to kill himself. And who comes in? Mary walks in, symbolic of the Mother Mary, and basically runs up to him, embraces him, they kiss, and the idea is that this man, the Reverend, is saved. So we have here what you might want to call a divine intervention, but this is what is symbolic of the spiritual solution, is that it's always there, right? It has to be, because it's again a part of this duality, is that we cannot have a problem without the solution already built in. This is important to know. Every single problem has a solution, otherwise we wouldn't have the problem in the first place. They go hand in hand. Now, by solution, I don't mean necessarily what the egos want, what our egos want, right? But a spiritual solution, something that's going to further our spiritual evolution towards enlightenment, right? So that we recognize our divine essence, who we truly are. So for example, if I have cancer, obviously I want a cure for that cancer. But that ultimately is an ego solution, but that may not be for our highest good. The spiritual solution might be for me to recognize through this cancer that I am not a physical body in the end, that I am spirit, I am this divine essence. That could be the spiritual solution. And really, all spiritual solutions point towards that solution, the path to enlightenment, recognizing who we truly are and living from the truth of our divine essence. So my tip is this: for every single challenge that you're going through, ask yourself, what's the spiritual solution? Not what my ego wants, but what spirit wants, which is one and the same. There is no separation between spirit and us. They are one and the same. And so ask what that spiritual solution could be and wait for it. Listen with your heart. Put aside your ego. And when it comes, internalize that truth. I'd like to hear what you think about this movie and these ideas. Feel free to leave comments below. And for more tips, movies, and life lessons, feel free to go to my website, thezenofhollywood.com, thezenofhollywood.com. And feel free to like this video and to subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching. See you next time.